I'm making this video in response to the user ltzaharias. Yeah, links in the usual place. But a series of questions are asked, and I thought they were just very good questions, and I'm going to try and address them in this video. Is question 1, does God exist? Question 2, which gods? Question 3, what is meant by God? And question 4, which is a real humdinger, is what methods can we use to determine whether something exists or not?
Now I've got a headache.
So, here we go. Let's see what I can do with those questions.
This will all end in tears, I just know.
Number 1, does God exist? My own personal answer to that question would be is that I've never seen any convincing evidence that any God exists, so it doesn't seem likely. There you go, that's the end of that question then.
Actually, this explains a lot, you know. All my life I've had this strange feeling that there's something big and sinister going on in the world.
No, that's perfectly normal paranoia.
And so we move on to question 2. Which gods? Well, I'd have to refer you back to my first answer, is that I see no compelling evidence that would lead me to assume that any gods exist. So, kind of an irrelevant question. But the third question is, what is meant by God?
Don't think. Nobody think. No ideas. No theories. No nothing.
Oops, sorry. What is meant by God? Well, that's always been a good one. I tend to think that people, when they refer back to a god or gods or goddesses or supernatural beings, what they're talking about is some benign entity outside of the universe. That's why we can't find any existence or any proof of existence of such, that created the universe and has a personal interest in whether Joe Smith is doing the right thing or not. Yeah, that's what I think that religious people mean by God. But I don't personally have any belief in any gods. Okay. And finally, on to your last question. What methods can we use to determine whether something exists or not?
Okay, Marvin, any ideas?
I have a million ideas. They all point to certain death.
Thanks very much, Marv.
Well, this is interesting because people will say, oh well, philosophy, logic, but logic can only go so far. I mean, with logic you can prove that nothing exists.
I think you ought to know I'm feeling very depressed.
So I'm not going to bother to show it to you here because it's quite a drawn-out process, and it is very, very, very silly. Just logic won't work. No, what you need is physical evidence. So, physical evidence and reasoned logic. That seems to ring a bell. I wonder where I've heard that before. Yeah, right. So basically, yes, you're quite correct. Basically, we are talking about the scientific method here. And only the scientific method can actually determine whether something is real or something exists or not. Yeah, I really, really think that is about it. That's as far as I can go to answer your questions. So thank you very much for them. They were interesting. I hope you enjoyed the video response that I've made for you. And yeah, if anything in this video has offended you in any way, shape or form, please let me know what it is, because I may want to offend you again later.